Hello and welcome to a new edition of Cairo Local Time. In the coming hour, we'll bring you news and reports on ongoing activities taking place here in Egypt. But first, we'll go for a short break. We'll be back with some local news, so stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers. And President Fattah al-Sisi receives on Thursday Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis in New Alamein city. The Egyptian-Greek summit comes during the first visit of Greek Prime Minister to the region after his re-election and formation of the new government. During the meeting, President Sisi congratulated the Greek Prime Minister on the electoral victory achieved by the ruling party in the Greek parliamentary elections. President Sisi also praised depth and stability of strategic relations between Egypt and Greece. Moreover, he highlighted distinguished level of political coordination between Egypt and Greece on issues of common concern. Presidential spokesperson Councillor Ahmed Fahmy stated that the meeting witnessed holding bilateral discussions and extensive talks between delegations of the two countries. For his part, the Greek Prime Minister affirmed strength of close and historical ties between the two countries, welcoming remarkable progress of cooperation over the past years. Shed more light on the importance of this visit. We are joined over the phone by Dr. Said Khouli. He is an economic expert and former dean of the Faculty of Commerce, St. James University. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
So, sir, as we have just seen today, that President Fattah al-Sisi received the Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis. How do you evaluate the cooperation between the two countries under the leadership of President Sisi?
Remember, we have a tight relationship between Greece and Egypt for hundreds of years.
Yes.
And really, these meetings with the President Sisi and the Prime Minister of Greece in Alamein, it reflects we can consider in three major dimensions.
Yes.
Number one dimension is the power agreement between Egypt and Greece, and the rest agreement between Egypt and Greece.
Yes.
And also we are talking about one very important issue, which is illegal immigration through the Mediterranean Sea, which Greece suffer from it. And with the help of Egyptian government and Egyptian naval forces, it really limited the illegal immigration through a country like Libya and so on to Greece. So Greece government really facing a big problem for the illegal immigration. Another thing which we focus on in that agreement, in that visit, it is the green manufacturing and green environment. And remember, in the last few weeks, Greece suffered from wildfire in many different places in Greece. And President Sisi sent several help through Air Force to really limit the damage from this wildfire in Greece. Remember, we have a strong and very strong relationship between Egyptian government, represented by President Fattah al-Sisi, and the Prime Minister of Greece. And this will really reflect in many different joint ventures between Egypt and Greece in the near future.
Yes. So, Dr. Said, also, this is the first visit for the Greek Prime Minister since the formation of the new government. What are the main issues on the table of the summit amid global political changes?
Remember, the whole world is suffering right now from the Russian-Ukrainian war and the shortage in supply chain for wheat and so on. Cooperation between Egypt and Greece, it really opens the door for satisfying any deficit in wheat and so on. Remember, this war is affected in many different areas in manufacturing and supply chain, and also in logistics. And having a joint agreement between Egypt and Greece, it will limit the damage and losses for both countries, for Egypt and Greece in the near future.
So, sir, also, can you shed light on cooperation between Egypt and Greece in energy field?
In what?
In the energy field.
We have an agreement already, exists an
Yes.
agreement for the last 3 years between Egypt, which
And gas
provides power supply
exploration in the
for,
Mediterranean, yes.
yes, and that is, it's really, we used to have a surplus in energy, and we opened lines to provide Greece with gas and power supply. This agreement, it has been for the last 3 years. And
Yes.
I would like to congratulate the Prime Minister of Greece for winning the election, and his really team won the election in a very, very strong way.
Yes, Dr. Saad Al-Khouli, economic expert and former dean of the Faculty of Commerce, thank you for being with us. And back to our local news, and the fifth session of the social axis of the National Dialogue kicked off at the Conference Center in Nasr City. The Family and Social Unity Committee, under the umbrella of the Social Axis, discusses problems following divorce throughout its 2 sessions. The Culture and National Identity Committee also discussed cultural industries falling between reality and hope. Moreover, a Special Education and Scientific Research Committee session will be convened to continue reviewing a draft law over forming a higher National Council for Education and Training. The draft law was transferred to the National Dialogue from the Cabinet according to presidential directives. And former Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri received a phone call from U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Thursday. During the call, the Secretary General Antony Blinken stressed U.S. keenness to coordinate efforts with Egypt to solve the situation in Sudan. The 2 sides discussed strengthening bilateral ties and highlighted partnership between the 2 countries. They also discussed the situation in the Middle East, Libya, and issues of mutual concern. And the Minister of Trade and Industry, Ahmed Samir, said that an agreement has been reached with Turkey to increase the volume of trade exchange between the 2 countries from $10 billion to $15 billion within the coming 5 years. Details follow. Minister of Trade and Industry Ahmed Samir said an agreement has been reached with Turkey to increase volume of trade exchange between the 2 countries from $10 billion to $15 billion within the coming 5 years. In a statement, the Ministry of Trade and Industry said Samir embarked on a visit to Turkey during the period from 1st of August till 3rd, which comes upon an invitation from his Turkish counterpart Omar Bulat. The visit is the first of its kind between the 2 ministers in 10 years. The statement pointed out that an agreement was reached during a joint committee meeting to expand the coverage of the free trade agreement between the 2 countries. The 2 ministers agreed on bolstering joint cooperation and offer all necessary facilitation to investors to increase exchange of investments. In addition to intensifying joint events that gather business communities of the 2 countries. The 2 ministers also decided to discuss potentials of using local currencies in bilateral trade in the coming phase. Meanwhile, the 2 ministers held an expanded meeting in the presence of representatives of business communities in both countries to exchange views on meaning of developing Egyptian-Turkish trade ties. The volume of Turkish investments in Egyptian market is estimated at $2 billion, while the projects which are currently being implemented by Turkish contractors in Egypt reached $1.2 billion. And still with the local news, and the Tourism Minister Ahmed Isa said more than 25,000 hotel rooms will be ready by the end of 2024, noting that over 4,311 new hotel rooms were finalized last year to host more tourists. Details follow. Tourism Minister Ahmed Issa said more than 25,000 hotel rooms will be ready by end of 2024, noting that over 4,311 new hotel rooms were finalized last year. During press conference, he said the budget allocated to the restoration of archaeological sites stood at 3 billion Egyptian pounds. As for upgrading the Giza Pyramids area, he said the inauguration of the area will be within the coming weeks. As for the route of the journey of the Holy Family, Deputy Tourism Minister said efforts are underway to propagate for it in coordination with the Vatican Pope. The talks tackled renovating the Greco-Roman Museum and other key archaeological sites. Meanwhile, Amr al-Audi, chairman of the Tourism Promotion Authority, said the Alamein Festival was intensively promoted in Arab countries. And the Minister of Health and Population, Khalid Abdel Ghaffar, announced that 116,000 patients have been registered to receive treatment under the program on early detection of liver cancer. The minister made his remarks during a ceremony commemorating the World Hepatitis Day, noting that Egypt has made great health achievements under President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Details follow. Minister of Health and Population Khaled Abdel Ghaffar announced that 116,000 patients have been registered to receive treatment under the program on early detection of liver cancer. The minister made his remarks during ceremony commemorating the World Hepatitis Day, noting that Egypt has made great health achievements under President Fattah al-Sisi. He also shed light on the great achievements made under the program, which aims to promote awareness of the health services provided under the 100 Million Healthy Lives Initiative launched in 2018 to eradicate hepatitis C and non-communicable diseases and improve the country's healthcare system. The campaign aims to secure the early detection of chronic diseases at mobile clinics and healthcare centers nationwide. The campaign targets beneficiaries of presidential initiatives for eradicating hepatitis C, treating liver cancer for hepatic patients, and the early detection and the treatment of chronic diseases. For children, the campaign seeks beneficiaries from presidential initiatives to treat malnutrition among school children and children with muscle atrophy. The campaign serves initiatives of supporting women's health, providing care to mothers and fetuses, and the early detection and treatment of hearing loss and impairment and genetic disorders for newborn. The campaign is using more than 5,000 primarily healthcare units, 500 comprehensive treatment convoys to provide detection, treatment, testing, and X-ray services. In addition, large numbers of mobile clinics with different specializations, including internal medicine, pediatrics, surgery, dentistry, and dermatology, are stationed in highly populated area. Moreover, mobile mammography vehicles, a vehicle to provide MRI scan services, the first of its kind in Africa, and vehicles to provide CT scan services have been dispatched. The campaign is meant to provide treatment to the patients under the aforementioned initiatives, all of which are part of the broader 100 Million Healthy Lives initiative that has extended services to millions of citizens over the past year. Welcome back, dear viewers, and you are still watching Cairo Local Time. And in this segment of our program, we will talk about the health sector, as President Fattah al-Sisi directed the government to step up efforts to develop the healthcare system in Egypt and increase access to healthcare initiatives nationwide, while increasing service delivery rates in the country's neediest villages. And to know more about this, we are joined over the phone by Dr. Magdi Adli, Senior Manager Inspector in Health Insurance Authority. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Appreciate to be with you.
Yes, sir. Let's start by the comprehensive health insurance system, as the President was briefed on it, and the number of healthcare services that were provided as part of the public health initiatives. So can you tell us more about the progress of the comprehensive health insurance system?
Okay. First of all, let me thank proudly Mr. President for what had been done in the health sector in general in Egypt for last 4 or 5 years since 2018. Through the presidential initiatives and through the progress of and development of the health sector in general. Yesterday before, Mr. President held a meeting with Minister of Health, Dr. Khaled Awattar, and the Prime Minister, Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, and the Presidential Advisor for Health and Presidential Affairs, Dr. Muhammad Awad Tajuddin, to demonstrate the development of health system throughout the country and following up the development of presidential what happened exactly in health system. And Mr. President was briefed on the status of implementation of national projects of health sectors and the timeline of each project, including even the hospitals which have been developed, like Hermal Hospital, in cooperation with a prestigious medical institution in fight against cancer to become an advanced global cancer center for oncology diagnosis and treatment, as well as the development of Nasser institution to become an integrated medical city. Also, His Excellency demonstrates and briefs on what is the rate of comprehensive insurance system and how many the service provided to the citizen, and through even the presidential initiatives, and supplying that presidential initiative into the in need villages. And in fact, there is these initiatives amounted to more than 145 million services have been done to beneficial 90 million citizens. And also, His Excellency gave a directive to continue intensifying work to develop the Egyptian health system and effort health initiative service throughout the country, while increasing the rate of service delivery in needed villages, as I told you, and stressing that according attention to that health of Egyptian citizens is a top priority for the state, in full cooperation with the local and foreign private sector in order to provide a necessary resource to improve the health services and achieve the financial and operational sustainability for new projects. Also, we can talk a lot about the presidential initiative, recent presidential initiative, which is 100-day presidential initiative, which is also is an extension of initiative of 100 million health initiative. And this 100-day initiative provide a lot of medical services all over the country and nationwide in all governorates. A lot of medical team are sharing, like 500 or 700 hospitals are sharing and cooperation for this initiative. And this initiative provide a lot of, as I told you, a lot of medical services, like diagnostic services for currently disease like diabetes or obesity or hypertension, and even X-ray, making X-ray or MRI for unable people or even able people. And they also make a laboratory test for citizens, all for free, Nobody can pay anything. And also they make, if the citizen needs a surgical operation, they make transferring the case to the
Yes.
nearest hospital.
Yes, Dr. Magdi.
These initiatives,
Yes.
in fact, provide a medical services for Egyptian people, also for guests from all countries who are on the ground of Egypt,
Yes.
who are residents in Egypt.
Yes, Dr. Magdi Adli.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we are running out of time. I'd like to thank you so much, Dr. Magdi Adli, Senior Manager, Inspector in Health Insurance Authority. Thank you for being with us. And dear viewers, by that we come to the end of today's edition of Cairo Local Time. Thank you for watching.